Well, here's a Uh-oh. Well, you sort of banged on. Yeah, we could start with they interviewed Donald Trump about. Are we? Huh? Are you saying yeah? Okay, you sent. You see, they interviewed the. They've gone on to other. They ask him about a lot of different things. He's an interesting guy, but it's what he said about the. It's what he said about what's happening with our government, Congress and Senate. What this is. He says something we are a business-run society, so it's interesting to see from a major businessman in the country. Like, what is he perceiving when they're doing this? When the political class is like this, it's negotiating behind closed doors. They come out, they can't reach an agreement. We don't know the content of what they're talking about. This is what he said. He said, like, well, from the standpoint, remember, it's a business-run society. It's not like he made whatever someone thinks of Donald Trump. No, but that's what did the business community, sort of, someone like that, like really involved in the physical economy, like real estate. What is he perceiving? What he said is interesting. Like, it's interesting. It points something out that someone else that a political commentator wouldn't observe. He said, "Well, look, the issues, the leader of the Republicans and Democrats, Boehner and Reid. That's who comes out and makes the statement. This is who's leading each party." Okay, he said, "Here's the thing for me." He said, "From the standpoint of a businessman." Okay, he said, "Well, what's going on is believe it or not, what is causing the government's going to stay shut down? They can't reach an agreement." He said, "Well, what's happening is these two people don't like each other personally." And he said, "Well, when that's the issue, every indication, everything you've heard, he's heard in political circles, they really even said there's some kind of animosity between them personally." And he said, "Well, right off the bat, I mean, if that's taking place," he said, "Well, geez, from a business person's point of view, it's in the business world, it's impossible to do business with someone where there's some kind of personal animosity between, unrelated to what you're trying to accomplish." Okay, right? And he's saying that's just sort of unacceptable. I mean, he said that personalities clash or something. That they have a history, they don't like each other. That's really not. You can't have that in business, and you can't have it in our political class. It's easy, right? That would be why if it's apparently based on things like that, and insiders say the same thing. Well, you see, but then nothing. You can't reach an agreement if that's the way in which things are proceeding in your government, because it certainly wouldn't work that way in business. What else he said? It's so true. But he said something about very specific about this issue we talked about in the other video. The part of the government shutdown that charities are having to step in, because the soldiers who've died, their grieving family members or wives they left behind, something need the death benefits, and with the economy like this and everything, those death benefits are very important. Okay, that's on delay because of this shutdown, and he pointed out something really specific. These death benefits include what's called burial money. That is, in order to bury the loved one lost, you need the death benefits. It's part of it. He said that really made him sick. But he also pointed out, like the Secretary of Defense, this would be the kind of thing he should speak about. That would be the person to say, well, whatever else is going on, these death benefits have to, and he can do that. The head of the Department of Defense. I mean, he said that's actually. Oh, he called it horrendous. It is, though, that's going on. This Chuck Hagel really should speak of that. See if he had the thing. But it's interesting to hear a person like that who lives in reality. It's a business-run society, even intelligent, successful, to what he perceives is happening. His comments on things tend to be like that. They make a good point, a very good point. But they asked him about the economy, the Federal Reserve, these things, and he said, look. interest rates, so they're making it so like interest rates are very low, like they're, this limited awareness over here, but this sort of bond buying program, they put money in the banks to lend. He said, look, I love, as a businessman, I love low interest rates, but he said that's not real growth of an economy. That's not based on anything. That's just, he said, yeah, but I'm, more money to lend, and I borrow it. I'm going to build something. But no. That's not real growth in an economy. Look, you're keep lowering the interest rates by, buying bonds from all the banks. That's not real growth, he said. And he even said he would not. He said, the strength. He said, actually, part of being a superpower used to be like our manufacturing, like the 50s, sort of like a. We can talk about that. I don't limited awareness, but right, like part of the manufacturing was part of the sort of superpower America. It wasn't just a place with like there was debt, nothing going on, the economy shut down, but it's military power. He said no, it was based on things like manufacturing. I thought his comments are like worth saying something about.